Monday, y'all, and this is a very red Monday. I mean, it could be actually worse because at a point the Dow was down almost 900 points, and it just closed above 600, which I think it's not that bad. Now the thing is, the whole news around today market sell-off is around Evergrande. Evergrande, if you don't know what it is, or the whole news is about one of the three top real estate developers in China. Evergrande owns about 8.5 million apartments in China, and they are on the brink of defaulting because they are incapable of paying dozens and hundreds of millions of dollars on interest on a $300 billion debt. And likely, many reports have been downgrading the notes, on the financial stability and financial capacities of this company to repay the debt creditors. And that's why all of a sudden people are starting to realize that it may be something that will hear and potentially have some ramifications in the whole global financial system. But I think this is a little bit overdone because you just don't wake up a morning and realize that there is a China company, big real estate developer that may be on the brink of defaulting. You know why? Because this has been going around since the last couple of months. But Wall Street and the US markets investors have kind of, put it on the slide, not focusing on that. And the truth of the matter is, even though lots of banks and institutional investors in the US and around the globe have exposure to this company, have invested in bonds of this company, I think the likelihood of this, causing what we saw in 2008 with Lehman Brothers, it's totally not comparable. Why? Two things. First of all, this is not the only risk or the only thing causing uncertainty in the markets today. We have four other catalysts this week, especially, that people are just freaking out because they don't know how things will go. First of all, Delta variant is still looking like it will have an impact on the economy. So that's one. So if we have less growth on the economy, less economic growth, man, it does mean profitability and margins of companies are going to shrink. That means less profit to be made, earnings are going to be reduced, and people are worried about that. People are worried about, if I put my money into the market now, am I going to be able to have that appreciation? So that's number one. Number two, you have the debt ceiling. The US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen have been vocal for the last month or two, saying that politicians, because this really needs to be fixed and solved by politicians. And we go through this every year. They have to raise the debt ceiling so that the US economy or the US country will not default, because if they do, that's going to cause a massive domino effect into not only the whole financial system, but also the economy. But I don't really think this is going to be to that point. I don't think they will be stupid and dumb enough to let this slide, even though some Republicans already said that they're going to just don't vote. They're going to just let it slide to see, but I think it's a leverage thing. They are kind of playing to get some stuff out of the other side. Politics, right? Now, the other thing is Fed, it's meeting this week. The Fed is meeting this week, and anytime the Fed is meeting, there is huge volatility, especially since we've been going into this whole inflation thing. We know inflation is going to come. Inflation is even already here, but what the Fed is actually going to do, and especially when is it going to do that to counter effect inflation. And it means there's going to be a shift into how people buy stocks in the market, especially in the US. So another catalyst. And then, you have the whole supply chain shortage. You have the whole chip shortage. You have many other aspects of what this week is going to bring in terms of economic indicators, in terms of, monetary policy. So that being said, you may expect to see some green days here and there, but until maybe the end of September or the beginning of October, we have more clarity, we have more visibility on some of these issues that I just mentioned being fixed, or a beginning of a solution to fix those. I don't think we will be out of the woods. But that doesn't mean we will be on the stock market crash. I think this is just, part of the whole September month being historically a slow month. And that's it.